And good afternoon, everybody. We are live once again on Facebook. Today is Thursday and it's a beautiful day. And we're here at the One Stop Shop studio. My name is Andy within South Florida. Mario Quintero, Mr. One Stop Shop, Mr. Clear to Close. And as we come to you every Thursday at the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to you about, well, Mario, look at all those hearts you're getting already. We haven't even started and your screen is...
Amazing. I thought that was you.
No, your screen is blowing up with hearts. Oh my God. Hey, I want to get some hearts as well. I'm jealous now. So folks, we come to you every Thursday. We do this show, topics about real estate, mortgages, what's happening in the industry, turbulences, you name it, and Mario has gone through it. And Mario unselfishly shares his knowledge, his experience, and expertise to help you navigate those difficult and sometimes confusing waters around the real estate and mortgage market. And today we have another good one. I mean, it's just one week after the other with great topics. Today's topic is what you need to know about listing your home. And if you're out there and you're thinking of selling and you're thinking of calling a real estate agent, stop, drop that phone, wait until you listen to Mario's advice and tips, and then pick up the phone and call Mario, because I guarantee you it will be smooth sailing. Mario, so why is it so difficult for people to list their home? Is that a real problem?
Well, it's not a problem. It's that it depends how motivated the seller is in selling their home. There's a lot of emotion that goes through the sale of a home.
True.
You got to remember, people buy a house and they turn it into a home. That's where they have a lot of memories of their family, their kids growing up. It's an emotional thing to do. So as a realtor, you need to understand the emotion that seller is feeling and how to help them to navigate the emotion of giving up all those memories and all those years of creating that home. Because originally they just bought a house, but over the years they made it their own home. And that emotional process is what I find that's very challenging for sellers, in addition to getting the most money for the home. But the emotion behind the sale is a tough one sometimes to get over. That's
a very interesting and unique way you see that. I bet you there's not a lot of real estate agents that walk in the shoes of a homeowner and really feel that passion about it's just a pile of bricks, right? But it's a home. It's where memories were created.
A lot of stuff goes in a home, and as a realtor, you got to really respect that and ask questions about that. Let's not just brush it under the rug.
Right.
Let's just confront it. Let's discuss it. Let's see how they feel about that process that they want to go through, and how a realtor can assist them in overcoming that emotion.
Great info. Folks, I want to welcome everybody tuning in. If it's the first time watching us, my name is Andy within South Florida. Mario Quintero from the One Stop Shop, and you're with us on the One Stop Shop Happy Hour that we do every Thursday. So Mario, what is the status of some of your current listings?
So tomorrow we are closing on a townhome up in Green Acres, West Palm Beach area. There was some turbulences that occurred with the buyer, but they finally got those issues resolved. And tomorrow we're going to do the final walkthrough, so I'll be heading up to West Palm first thing in the morning to meet the realtor and the buyer at 9:30, take out my electronic box from the door, turn the key over to the other realtor so that when the loan funds, they could give the key to the buyer, and I got to get a certification of the final walkthrough signed by the buyer that everything that was according to her expectations. We have a townhome in Hialeah which is getting a lot of showings. It's currently vacant. We've only listed it 2 weeks ago, but it seems like we're getting 1 or 2 showings a day.
Nice.
As I track the the showing calendar on my electronic tracking system that I have for people that are coming in and going out. So it's getting a lot of showings, and I don't anticipate that lasting too much longer because the price point is right under 200,000, and it's a very nicely maintained home.
And it's a great place in Hialeah. Hialeah has a
lot of movement.
lot of stuff going on there. Yeah.
Right. And then this coming Saturday, I'm going to be listing. I have a listing appointment where we're going to be ready to move forward. In fact, the sign was ordered yesterday. The for sale sign to go up in front of the house was ordered yesterday, and that's a beautifully kept 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in West Hialeah.
Nice.
So that'll go on the market next Monday. So if you're watching today and you have a buyer or you are a buyer and are looking in the West Hialeah area, that one's coming on the market on Monday. So you get a head start. And if you want to give me a call on that one.
And if you're watching as an individual and you're looking to buy, give Mario a call. But if you're a real estate agent, and I know you have a lot of real estate agents that are watching because they've been following your path on Facebook Live, guys, this is a great opportunity to go ahead and partner up with the One Stop Shop and to be able to possibly do a deal together and get a home, get your client or your prospect into a home, and that is one of the most easiest ways to do it, without a doubt. So Mario, there's probably people that are thinking of selling. They're wondering, is this the right time? Is this the right time to sell? Should I wait to January? Should I wait till the summer? This is kind of a two-part question. Is there a right time to sell? And tell me a little bit about selling your house during the fall and the holiday season.
So the end of September will mark the end of the school season, the back to school season.
Okay.
Meaning August, September, people have been busy getting their kids back to a routine. There's been extra expenses with clothing and backpacks and school supplies and all of that. And people have been focused, especially families with children, in getting the family back into a routine. Well, Monday is September 30th. That's it. We're done with the back to school. It's over. And now the fall holiday season, meaning October, November, December, is another peak selling season for homes. So if you've been on the fence and too emotional about possibly selling your home, this is a peak buying season, the fall holiday season. And if you've been thinking of even considering selling your home, now's the time to have a meeting to discuss what is it that you need to do if you decide to pull the trigger and list that home. The client I'm going to go see Saturday, we discussed their plan of action 3 months ago.
Wow.
3 months ago. And we discussed, if I sell my house, do I do this? If I sell my house, do I do that? And we went over 3 different scenarios, okay? And this past Monday, they had just come off of a cruise. They were on vacation for a week. And she called me Monday morning. She goes, while on the cruise, we decided we want to sell the house. So when can you come over?
I'll be there Saturday.
I said, I'll be there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday. But they already have selected one of the goals that we discussed 3 months ago. So there's always the starting point, which is a discussion. Just because we sit down and discuss your goals for selling your home doesn't mean we have to do a listing agreement at that moment. Okay? I'm not one of those people that walk in with a listing agreement, we have a discussion, and Andy, sign here. I do not operate that way. I never have, and I never will. I like to discuss the options and make sure that you're comfortable, the client is comfortable with what we're going to do and how we're going to get there. Because what do you do once you sell your house? Do you have plans to get into a new house?
Absolutely.
Are you going into a condo? Are you moving out of the county? Are you moving into Central Florida? Are you moving out of state? Do you need to get pre-qualified for that next purchase? Who's going to help you transition into that new home? there's a lot of things to talk about.
It's kind of like a multi-step, multi-layer process that it's almost as complicated as an orchestra where you need to have everything in sync and all the instruments in sync so that you can move into that dream home and avoid those turbulences.
Well, and there's planning that goes into that. We need to, and that's where someone like me comes into the process, because I'm going to think about things and I'm going to question you about things that you probably haven't even thought about.
Right.
So that we can make that part of the plan. So it's a multi-step process, just like you said. You know, there's the sale, there's the emotion, there's the pre-qualification for where you're going, where are you going, and do you have an in-between? Because if we sell your home right away, what are you going to do?
Of course. So there's probably people watching that just heard that and they're like, wow, I'm never going to sell a home. That sounds complicated. There's so many questions. I don't even know how much my home is worth. Mario, if anybody has those types of questions and they're watching and they've been thinking about it, we'll sell the home, we're going to pull my trigger, you know, it's the end of the year, holidays, we need a new home, our kids are growing. Oh my God, so many questions. Mario, is there a number that somebody can call you at and get answers to all these questions?
There's 2 numbers I can be reached
Sounds
at.
complicated, folks, but it's not.
Here at the office, 305-598-1600. We do have live people that actually answer the phone here. And after hours, my cell phone is 305-588-0451.
Mario, can people ask you for a cup of this delicious coffee when they come into the office?
We offer them coffee. Today we had an assortment of muffins. We have pumpkin spiced multicolored cookies. We have a lot of stuff here.
Folks,
that's why I can't lose weight.
Folks, we have clients all month and we have videos all month. And I look forward to coming to the one-stop shop. And not only because of Mario and his team and his staff, we have fun, but oh my God, great coffee. So if you come over here to ask any questions, ask Mario for a cup of coffee. So Mario's, I know there's a lot that goes into a selling and buying of a property. What are your 3 P's approach to listing and selling homes?
So this is a unique system that I use. Other people might call it something else, but I like to call it the 3 P's because I like to keep it very simple. The first thing we need to do is we need to prepare the home to present it to the general public for sale.
Because there's a process to that. It's not just have it on the market.
Correct. We may have to stage some things. We may need to update. We might need to do a little paint freshening up.
Okay.
Maybe a little mulch out in the front door
Make it
area.
presentable.
Make it nice and presentable so that we give a good appearance. And then another part of that preparation of the home is we actually have a home inspection that is done on the home to uncover the things that may not be seen by the eye.
Okay.
You know, in the areas of plumbing, the roof, the electrical system, make sure that there's nothing that new buyer coming in who's going to be under contract will uncover under their inspection period.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So we want to be one step ahead. So that first P, preparing the home,
Important.
is very important because it avoids turbulence once we have a buyer doing their home inspection.
Excellent point. Okay, so that is your first P.
The second P is pricing the home properly.
You mean I can't ask whatever I want?
You can ask, but I may not take your listing.
Okay.
Okay, because if you want a price that is way above the realistic price, we have to have a conversation. Okay? And if we have to go to the point that the comps that I'm showing you, the current pending sales in the area, do not match the price that you want, I'm even willing to bring in an appraiser if you're willing to accept that appraisal as the listing price.
Okay.
Okay, so I will go to that point. But to overprice a home by $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 just to see what happens is unrealistic, and it's not good to have the house sitting on there building up days on the market.
True.
Because the longer the house is on the market, the more people start to think there must be a problem there.
Sure.
And the problem sometimes is the price.
Or the owner that wants an unrealistic amount.
Right.
Yeah.
So I usually like to have an honest conversation with the seller on that, because it doesn't do the seller or myself any good to have the property sit on the market because it's overpriced.
Right, right.
The final P is what I call pictures and video. We like to hire a professional to come in and take pictures and a video, and we like to create what is called a unique website with the propertyaddress.com, and then we'll have about 36 pictures on there. We'll have a video showing the entire inside of the house. We will have on that website all the unique features of that home. So what happens is I will attach a writer to my for sale sign outside the home with the web address of that unique website. And as people drive by at night or on the weekends, they might take my number down to call for a viewing. But in the meantime, if they take that website down, they could go home that night and see the inside of the house right from the comfort of their own home. So those are my 3 Ps for marketing a home.
All right, so I know there's a lot of real estate agents out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do they go through those processes?
I can't judge what other people do. I can only tell you what I do.
Yeah, because that sounds pretty extensive. Planning and pre-marketing and crossing off your T's and dotting your I's to make sure that when you do have somebody interested in contract, that deal goes through.
We could easily spend about $1,200 just to prepare the house for the listing.
Even before it's even sold, right?
And that's part of my marketing plan. I pay for that myself up front.
Awesome, awesome. There you have it, folks. If you're thinking of selling a property, you know who to call. So explain to us a little bit about selling a house versus owning a home and the emotional process that goes in there.
So, like I said earlier, in selling a home, there's a lot of emotion, the memories, good, bad things, everything. There's an emotional, what I like to say, like those Cuban rice pressure cookers. It's kind of similar to that, okay? Because, the kids grew up, the birthday parties, the after-school gatherings, the weekend family reunions over the years, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You got to take that into consideration. What I like to tell my clients is, listen, you bought this house and you turned it into a beautiful home with a lot of memories. Now you got to start looking at this like a business decision, and you're selling a house again, okay? And when you move, you can do this all over again and create a new home out of the house that you're going to buy, and then you're going to create all your new memories there. But on this one, enjoy what you've created, but let's sell it like a business. We're going to sell a house.
That's a great way to position it. For those of you Hispanics watching, Mario associated selling a house with a Hitachi. You know Hitachi? Everybody knows what Hitachi is, right? People have Hitachi? Bueno, you're going to Hitachi your home. So, but you can do it all over again and do a brand new Hitachi down the road. Can you explain a recent complicated 3-step one-stop shop?
Yeah, and this is what I'm going to talk about now, is the efficiencies that we can offer in a sell, buy, finance, multiple stage process. So a couple of months ago, I met with a family. We actually met at 9 o'clock at night at La Carreta, right near the office here.
So this is a real story.
This is a real story.
The names will be omitted to protect the innocent.
Correct.
But this is a real story.
This is a real story.
This is a Hitachi that did not go as well as expected. El arroz no se cocinó bien.
No, it all worked out.
Oh, it all worked out,
It all
okay.
worked out, but I'm going to describe the different stages of the process. So, we're sitting there at La Carreta drinking some café con leches at 9 o'clock at night, and they proposed to me what they want to do as far as purchasing a specific type home in a specific location and the price. So I asked them, I said, well, how much money do you have to make this purchase? And they said, no, we don't have any money. I said, okay. I said, what do you have? So they told me they had 2 townhomes, the one that they currently lived in and one that was rented out as an investment
Okay.
property. So, you know, La Carreta has good placemats that have, you could turn them over and draw a map.
That's my notes.
So I started drawing the proposal, and phase 1 was to secure a private equity loan on the townhouse so that they would have the money for the down payment, and later on we could sell the townhouse and pay that off. So they liked that idea. The second one was to find that house. And lo and behold, they already had the house in their mind and they wanted to go see it like in 2 days.
Okay.
And said, okay, so if you're willing to get this loan, we can go see the house. We can then put a contract on the house. I'll secure the funds from there. And then when it's all said and done and you move in to that house, we can rent your current house and then we could sell the townhouse. So private loan, find a house,
The contract on the house.
contract on the house, rent the existing home,
Right. Well,
and sell the townhouse, which has been on the market now for 2 weeks. So we've already achieved 3 of the steps, and now I'm just waiting to hopefully sell the townhouse soon so we could pay off that loan that we originally took, and they've already moved into the home.
wow.
They're already moved in.
Wow.
And next Tuesday, the tenants are moving into their home that they just left behind. Now, that was an emotional situation because that family has been living in that home for 39 years.
Wow.
The adults that live there now were kids when they first moved into that townhome.
Wow.
And now their dream was to finally move out of there after 39 years and move into actually a single family home. And we've been able to get all the way, we're about 80% there now of all those transactions that started as a little meeting at La Carreta
Yeah.
with drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night and drawing out the plan. And I said, this is the plan. I even ran some numbers for them that night with the calculator. I said, this is how much money you need to borrow. This is how much it's going to cost to get into that house. This is what it's going to cost for you to pay for that loan for a few months while I sell the other house. We went over the whole plan, and it was all done on a blank piece of paper with just a lot of notes and drawings. And at the end of the night, I gave them that drawing. I said, everything you need to know is right here. Call me if you want to proceed. The next day they called me and they said, we're moving forward.
Mario, I'm sitting across from you and looking at you, and for some reason I think that this is like one of the best kind of deals that you like to do.
Well, I'm a pretty simple guy. I
I
don't
know,
use
but-
a lot of high tech.
No, but in the sense that you went from a café con leche to a 5-course meal, and you were able to fulfill this family's dreams, something that maybe a regular real estate agent or a regular mortgage professional could not do. And that's kind of only possible when you have both under the same roof, and you cover both of the angles, like in the philosophy of the one-stop shop.
Well, in this case, as you can see, we've been through multiple transactions.
Of course.
And the only person that they've had to call is me.
So it's a huge plus.
It's huge.
It's a huge plus.
There's only one cook in the kitchen.
Only one cook in the kitchen. As long as you have all the ingredients, which it seems that you do,
Yes.
and the people are hungry, you got them into the dream home.
We got them into the dream home.
La Torre de Café con Leche. Remember that, folks, when you guys are looking into your dream property. So, Mario, what are the key points in negotiating a contract, and how does experience play in the process?
So, you know, if I'm selling a home, obviously my seller wants me to get the highest price for that home. If I'm representing a buyer, the buyer wants to get that home for the lowest price. But there's got to be a happy medium.
Yeah.
There's got to be a realistic happy medium. So when I'm selling a home, the three main points that I have to use my negotiating skills, the first one is the starting price that is accepted by the parties. And that has to come in as high as possible to the market price of that home and the comparables that are in that area, okay? That's number one. So once we sign off on the contract, then we have a buyer and, you know, that's good to go. We now have gotten one of the three pieces of that contract properly negotiated. The second one is the appraisal. The second one is the inspection.
Okay.
They usually have 10 days to do the inspection, and once they finish their inspection, they can come back and ask for some kind of relief if they find something that's way out of whack.
Right.
On my listings, they ain't gonna find anything, because I already did the inspection a month before.
Right.
And I know what was any problems that occurred, and I had them resolved. So we're not gonna need to negotiate anything, because whatever the problem was already handled.
That goes back to your earlier comment on your 3 Ps.
On the 3 Ps.
Preparing the house.
Preparing the house. So we're not gonna have to deal with any of that. The third one is the appraisal. Okay, so the buyer is gonna come in, we negotiated a price, and now their lender is gonna do an appraisal. Okay, well, we shouldn't have a problem there either, because if I did my job properly with the right comps, and I even went as far as getting an appraisal done on that property,
It's gonna appraise.
it's gonna appraise. We should not have a problem. So those are the three most important points in negotiating a contract. As a listing agent, I try to diffuse all of them prior to getting into contract, so that once we go through the steps,
Smooth.
we're done. We're gonna minimize any turbulence that's gonna occur.
You know, you mentioned that word turbulence a couple of times, and people are probably wondering, what is a turbulence? I mean, there's no storms in the horizon. Well, there's Karen there, but I digress. That's a future conversation. If you're watching us for the first time, folks, my name is Andy within South Florida. This is Mario Quintero from the One Stop Shop. And if you've noticed behind us, we have MariosHomeNews.com. MariosHomeNews.com is a website full of resources and video content, video testimonials, these live streams, client testimonials, and referral partners. And basically, it would really allow you to get to know who is Mario Quintero, what is the one-stop shop concept, how come people call him Mr. Clear to Close, and you may be wondering, what does that mean? Well, check out MariosHomeNews.com and look at all the happy people that have closed on their dream home. And going back to the word turbulence are things that can impede the sale or interfere in the process of a smooth transaction. And Mario has a video up there which is well worth watching if you're thinking of buying or selling a property, especially if you're thinking of buying. If you're thinking of buying, might be because today is September 26th and you're getting ready to send out that rent check again for October 1st rent. And you shouldn't have to do that. There's no reason for you to rent. You can contact Mario. Mario can show you exactly what you need to get into your dream home for you and your family, and stop renting in 4 days, 5 days. You got to issue out that check again. And that's not building your future. It's not going into your pocket. You're making somebody else happy, but your families, your kids are telling you, hey, daddy, when are we going to buy our home? We're going to call Mario. We're going to call Mario. What's the number that they can reach you at, Mario?
Best number to reach me here in the office is 305-598-1600. And after hours or anytime, my cell is 305-588-0451. And just to mention, if anybody wants the list of the turbulences, I do have a list.
Awesome.
I'm like the pilot that navigates the turbulence. And I do have a list with 88 of the most common turbulences, and which party in the transaction is the one that can create that turbulence. You know, we have right now, just to give you an idea, I have a buyer, we have a contract on a duplex, okay? and the seller is not one person, it's 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh,
And half of them don't talk to each other.
that's messy.
So every time we need something signed or updated, the listing agent has to get all 10 of them together, some of them as a small group, and then visit the other ones individually because they don't want to see the rest of them. Okay? That's a lot of turbulence.
So
What happens?
not only can he diffuse a Hitachi gone bad, but he can help you navigate the turbulences of buying a real estate market. Mario, there's probably people watching and they're like, yeah, you know, I don't have money. Yeah, I'm renting. You know, I have a choice. I got to give my landlord a check. What message do you have for these guys?
Got to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Sit down and talk and see where you're at today, and see where what you need to do to get to that point where you're ready to purchase. I had a conversation earlier today with someone that just called because their bookkeeper referred them to me to get pre-qualified. So we're gonna meet next week, go over the application, go over their goals and objectives, run their credit, review their financial assessment, and then we'll have a follow-up meeting to see what we can do now, or do they need to wait a few more months? So there's no cost to that.
No cost.
There's no cost to investigating where you stand and where you need to go. So I urge you, and if when this finishes, you want to share this video to people that you know on your
Absolutely.
Facebook list or your LinkedIn list, feel free. You never know who you're going to help out by watching this video.
Absolutely, and even though it is the end of September, beginning of October, you can still set up that Christmas tree in your new home.
There's still time.
Because you still have time. You still have time to look, to research, to close. You know, I mean, as it gets closer to the holiday season, right? That window closes a little bit, but there's still time.
Well, the other thing you want to do if you're going to be house hunting or selling a house during this time is you want to be the homeowner of record before December 31st.
Oh,
So that you can apply for your homestead exemption next year.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a big deadline, December 31st. So right now, we're still able, and it's a little bit of a tight squeeze to get you into Thanksgiving in your new home.
Nice.
Christmas is more realistic.
More realistic.
But yeah, we could probably get you in your new home for Christmas and New Year's.
So there you have it, folks. If you're renting, stop writing those rent checks. Pick up the phone, give Mario a call. Just talk to him. He's not going to charge you a dime, and he's going to tell you realistically what home you could get into and how you can fulfill your dreams. Not only for you, maybe for your wife, if maybe for your husband if you're watching. For sure, your kids. Your kids would love to celebrate the holidays in their home. No more rental. Say no to rent. You know, people out there, these landlords are going to kill us. You know that, right?
Hey, I'm a landlord.
You're a landlord too.
I don't have a problem with it.
Say no to rent. Call Mario Quintero, the one-stop shop, and make your dreams a reality by getting into your new home before the end of the year. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, and what a heck of a gift, right?
Yeah.
To hand over keys to a brand new family.
It's a great feeling. Every time we
Yeah.
go through that, we do that final walkthrough.
Yeah.
We hand them the keys just to see the faces and the joy
Yeah.
in the families and their kids is unbelievable.
And don't take his word for it. Check out MarioSoneNews.com and look at all the happy families that have been given their keys at the closing table
And their testimonials.
and their testimonials, and listen to what they have to say about the one-stop shop and Mario Quintero.
Andy, thanks a lot, and I guess we'll see you next week.
And next week, are we going to tell him, or are we going to keep him in
I have
suspense?
no idea what we're going to talk about.
That's the beauty of this guy. He rolls with it, right? He rolls with it. We're live from his studio, folks. Andy here within South Florida. Mario Quintero, the one-stop shop, Mr. Clear to Close. Give him a call at 305-598-1600, and make sure to share this. If you found this valuable, share this video with your friends, your network, your family. Maybe you can purchase multiple homes. You never know. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.